I had no idea how this build would turn out, but I'm pleasantly surprised of how it actually turned out to be. And with the power packed inside this little thing that you see here, this PC is a beast of a gaming machine. Let me show you. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Kobe, and here we have what I believe is the ultimate price to performance gaming PC. So this is actually my girl's PC, which was originally housed in the NZX TH1, but I decided to give her a new case, plus a couple of upgrades for a few good reasons. One, because the love for the NZX TH1 has died, at least for me. And two, I wanted to give her a case that was both appealing in looks and in performance. So let's just dive into what exactly is in this PC and how well it performs. Okay, so starting off with the processor, we have the Ryzen 5 5600X. This is the 6-core, 12-thread chip on the Zen 3 architecture, bringing massive improvements over Zen 2. This retails for about $300, and for the price, you're getting a really good performing chip. Cooling the processor is the Vetroo L5 in white, and Vetroo was very kind enough to send this over for me to check out. It's a little large for a low-profile cooler, but the aesthetics and the included RGB fan more than make up for it, as well as the price. We have 16 gigabytes of Team Group Vulkan memory at 3200 MHz that's hidden behind the cooler. Now yes, I could have gone for 3600 MHz, but I decided to save a bit of cost and stick with 3200, and I know I can overclock it as well, so it works out. The cooler covers the RAM entirely, so I didn't really bother for the aesthetics in this case. The motherboard is the ASRock Fatality B450 ITX motherboard. I know I could have opted for at least a B550 in this case, but this specific motherboard has the BIOS revision to support Ryzen 5000 chips, and over the last few months, I have not encountered any stability issues with the Ryzen 5600X. Powering the PC is the NZXT S650. Now I actually took this from the NZX TH1 case, because that case is bundled with this power supply. But since SFX power supplies are typically more expensive, I decided to save costs and yank this one out. Typical 650 watt SFX power supplies can run you for about $130 though, so keep that in mind. For storage, we have the Inland Premium 1TB NVMe SSD. This is more than enough for my girl, as she only plays a handful of games, but it comes in handy as well, so I don't have to deal with extra SATA cables to connect. The graphics card is the RTX 3070 Founders Edition. An excellent card in terms of performance and price, if you can find it in retail. This card can handle practically anything that you throw at it. And finally, the case that you see here is the incredible Cooler Master NR200P. This is my first time building in this case, and it was super fun and easier than expected. The case is easily accessible from all sides, and removing the side panels is simple because of the push pin mechanism. It took me a little bit to figure out the layout, like I had to move the PSU holder from the back to the side of the case because it actually caused a fitting issue with the RTX 3070. But besides that, it's actually very easy. I wish there was a better way to hide the clutter of cables that you see here from the power supply, but I know that that's a drawback with a lot of ITX cases, so I did what I could even though I legit had no patience. Now really quickly, I set up these exhaust fans courtesy of GIM. They were very kind enough to send these to me, and I think they look absolutely great in this case. They are white RGB fans with these awesome little ribbons that you can customize to your liking. The fans include 3 different styles of these ribbons, so you have more options to choose from. They push air out of the case easily and with little noise. I highly recommend them if you're looking for cheap yet good quality fans. In total then, this build comes to just over $1,400 before taxes. Now really quickly, there are definitely some things I need to mention first. First thing, since NZXT does not actually sell the S650 separately, there actually isn't a way to purchase it. I laid the price at $130 because on Amazon at the time of filming, you can find 650 watt SFX power supplies from anywhere between $110 to $150. So I thought that $130 was a nice middle ground. Also, I excluded the GIM fans, not only because they are super cheap, coming in at about $20, but because that's just purely aesthetic. If you do get the NR200P, you would get 2 included black fans with the case, so it didn't make sense to add more to the total price. And yes, of course, you can modify some of the components, like the storage, or even the aftermarket cooler. But I believe that for a combination of looks and performance, this is a great way to show off the total build. So, how well does this PC do in gaming? Well, I wanted to primarily show off how well the PC does at 1440p given the specs, but unfortunately I actually don't have a 1440p monitor, only the ultra wide, and unfortunately some games don't scale well down to 1440p from ultra wide, so I would just leave the testing at 1080p. Check out the benchmarks and we will come back to summarize this PC. So there you guys have it. I understand that the price isn't 100% accurate. This is 2021, by the way, and GPU prices are absolutely ridiculous. But I know things will get better, and when they do, this build can be a great reference point to come back to when you're able to purchase these cards at MSRP, or at least close to it. It honestly sucks a bit to be making content based on components that we really can't get, and I'm truly sorry for that. But I really wanted to show off how well this build can be, and how great it can look with the awesome NR200P case from Cooler Master. But as you can see, this is a beast of a gaming PC, and I was glad I was able to make it for my girl. By the way guys, my girl's name is Janica. I always say my girl, but it's time that I finally drop the name. This is Janica's PC, and I am super excited for her to use it. And I hope you guys did enjoy me breaking down this build for you all. Thank you to Vetroo and thank you to GIM once again for letting me check out your products. And if you guys are interested and want to check out the low profile cooler and the RGB fans, you can check out the links in the description below. If you guys did end up enjoying this video, make sure to hit that like button, and also do not forget to subscribe. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and we will see you all in the next one.